Hello, welcome back into Average Home Theater. I am Nelson.
Hey, he's producing it.
He is producer Nick, and welcome to our first entry into a new series that we're going to call Who Did It Better? Right? Sounds good?
Who did it better? That's
Who
right.
Did It Better? And today is Leviathan
Yes.
versus Deepstar
Deepstar Six.
Six.
And I have never seen either one of these. I'd actually never even heard of Deepstar Six before a couple of days ago when
So you had
when
heard of
you
Leviathan before?
I'd heard of Leviathan and actually had always wanted to watch it, but just have had never seen it.
Interesting. And I grew up watching Deepstar Six. I can remember renting tape, loving the the case, the cover,
Right?
the half-eaten man.
Which I
Um,
didn't notice until we were halfway through the movie.
oh, really?
Yeah, I had glanced at it, but
Actually, pay
I didn't
attention
connect
to.
the dots until the movie. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only one I had ever seen. I didn't see Leviathan until I don't know 2, 3 years ago at the most. I think it was on Prime or something, and I was like, oh, there's Leviathan. I've heard of it, so I said, let me check it out.
Yeah.
You know. So first we watched Leviathan first.
Mhm.
Now I had only, like I said, I've only seen it once. Nick had never hadn't seen it yet. Um, so what are your initial thoughts on Leviathan?
Well, I actually jotted a little something down. This may sound familiar. Corporate sponsored mining operation finds a wrecked ship accidentally in an unexplored region. They bring an organism on board that attaches itself to a crew member, creates another monstrous being, have to fight it off with makeshift weapons, including a flamethrower. A race for survival before the ship is destroyed.
And the
Did that
doctor knew
the
about it.
doctor, the corporation knew about it, the representative of the corporation. I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
There's a
It's like
groundbreaking
like an alien being, maybe
yeah.
something foreign. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so
I couldn't put my finger on it, but I felt a little familiar.
so I'm pretty sure the first time I watched it, I may or may not have fallen asleep, which is why I didn't remember much about it.
Yeah.
But as we were watching it, I was bored out of my mind. And then I remembered, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
I think I may have fallen asleep.
Yeah, I've seen it
Um,
before.
and to start from the beginning, I watching it this go round, I was very disappointed in the acting.
Yeah, the
Um,
acting and the writing,
it
and
was pretty much atrocious.
I, I feel like it was. They had no real reaction to what was going on.
Yeah, you kept
They
saying that. You're like, boy, they sure aren't too worried.
right. I mean, this thing just this person. Spoiler alert. This person just died and is turning into is reanimated into this other creature, and they're like, I mean, I don't know, it wasn't written
Yeah,
very well. It happened too fast.
the dialogue writing was bad though.
Yeah,
Like it didn't seem natural.
yes, it
The
didn't. The reaction that didn't seem natural.
yeah, none of the dialogue seemed natural.
Yeah,
And I mean, this is a good cast. I mean, Peter Weller,
yeah.
Ernie Hudson,
Hmm.
um, oh, check that out
Daniel
right.
Stern was
Daniel Stern, who was
he
horrible.
was annoying. The character was annoying. If they'd have said six pack one more time,
Um, oh, and Richard Crenna.
Richard Crenna,
Goodness, Hector
who
Alazan,
breaks the
actually the best
screen,
one.
who jumps off the
Alessandro.
screen every movie he's in. If you've never seen Rambo,
So even Ernie Hudson, who, in my opinion, can pretty much do no wrong. I mean, even in not good movies, he's normally good. Ernie was pretty bad in this. Like he had some scenes where it looked. I mean, normally Ernie Hudson looks like he's not acting,
yeah,
right? Um,
yeah, he
this
fits into whatever role he did deliver the greatest line in the movie,
he did.
but
He did deliver the greatest
which we
line,
can't repeat.
which is going to air now.
I realize you must have gone through hell.
Gone. Bitch, we still here.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just not. It's not a good movie, and
Uh,
people love this.
I was disappointed.
People love this movie. I'm part of a few horror groups
Yeah,
on Facebook, and a lot of people like it, and they say they prefer it over Deep Star Six, and
I disagree with that.
I can't disagree more.
I was disappointed. Honestly, with like I'm all about less is more.
Mhm.
when showing the creatures and all that stuff. But I kind of wish they would have showed the creature a little
Well, they
bit
never
more.
really showed it.
Yeah,
Um,
it looked like it was a really neat looking idea that they had, but maybe they had issues with getting the suit together or
or something to look
animatronics.
right.
Yeah, so it was all really quick glimpses and really
Mhm.
quick shots and cuts and
Yeah,
like I
you really
wanted to
don't
see
get
what
a
the
good
thing
look
looked
of
like.
you don't get a good look at it at
Yeah.
all.
I mean,
Um,
even in like Alien, which is the movie I was referring to before when it's been done before. I don't know if
oh,
and
I don't know if anybody picked up
hopefully
on
the
that.
audience caught up on that. If you're watching this, then you did. If you're a fan of the show. Yeah, even with Alien, like it's glimpses, but you get long shots
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
get to know what the thing looks like. Um, I don't
But
know.
even Jaws, you don't see the shark until almost the end, but when you see it, you see it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
so I don't know, man. Peter Weller wasn't good. He overacted. I mean, some parts he was convincing, then other parts he wasn't, but I think it was the material. I think the dialogue was bad.
yeah,
And the director is George P. Was it Cosma? How do you say it? Cosmatos. He's the director of Tombstone.
yeah,
And if you know anything about the history of that movie, he was the director and wasn't good. Like it wasn't going well. And a lot of people, to include Val Kilmer, have told stories how basically Kurt Russell kind of got it, and it was like a group effort to get that movie finished.
yeah,
Like for such a good movie to have the issues it had, and it's because of him. Like apparently he's kind of cuckoo.
yeah.
So, and this was only made like 3 or 4 years before Tombstone.
Hmm. Which
So
is a great movie.
yeah, I think
One of the favorites.
this movie suffers from mainly bad direction. Bad direction, and then the writing is just not very good.
Yeah.
And it's a complete rip off of Alien. They said take Alien and put it in water.
Put it underwater, and I mean everything from the like I said, the flamethrowers, walking the halls, some of the shots looked
Yep,
the
yep.
same. The ship resembled the ship from Alien. All that. I mean, it's like watching, like you said, Alien underwater.
Yeah, it's so let's give it a grade. If I'm gonna grade Leviathan out of 10, I mean, I'm thinking like 4.
That's where I was going for 4.5.
Because 5 is considered average, and an average movie is somewhat entertaining and you can watch it again. I don't really plan on watching this again. I've seen it twice now. Um, I like having the cassette in my collection. Um, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch this one again.
Yeah, it's not something I'll watch again.
Yeah.
4.5 seems
Yeah, and I don't know,
4.5
guys.
seems low.
For all of you that like this movie, it has to be a you grew up watching it, nostalgia
Yeah,
type of thing. But if you sit back and look at it, it's really not that good.
yeah. Didn't grab me. Didn't grab me.
So we watched that last night. Today we watched Deepstar Six, and we really just finished like what 15, 20 minutes ago.
Right.
They were both made in 1989. So who do you think did it better? Do you think Deep Star Six did it better?
I enjoyed Deep Star Six a lot more.
Yeah. So this one is, while they're similar, of course, underwater station, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
um, but they
The
have different missions.
yeah, and
They were a mining
Katai,
crew in Leviathan.
right. This was a military operation. They're installing missile silos
Correct.
for the Navy.
Hmm.
What I liked better about this one, it was the monster was a natural. It was just something that occurred in nature that had
Yes.
been lost to history. It was in the cavern, and
And they
they
basically
said it
released it when the cavern opened.
right. And she said at the beginning, this could be something living in there that's thousands of years old, and it could be millions of years old. So you know how old the
Yeah.
thing is, but it's something that occurred in nature. It wasn't created by man in an attempt to
And it's not
whatever.
an alien. Um,
Right, right. It's not an alien.
so yeah, I like this one. It's directed by Sean S. Cunningham, who we all know created Friday the 13th. Um, he also directed House. So I guess I consider myself a Sean S. Cunningham fan because I tend to like his stuff. This just has, even though it's not a perfect movie by any stretch, it has what I like to call that 80s charm. It
Yeah,
feels like an 80s movie. Leviathan doesn't feel like it doesn't have any charm. Like it doesn't, and I think it's because it had maybe higher production value. You can see which one had the bigger budget.
yeah,
Leviathan obviously had a bigger budget,
yeah.
but it just wasn't executed well.
Yeah.
Deep Star Six it was just better. It's just
And
a better
we
movie.
and we talked last night about Leviathan having a higher rating, like the IMDb score is a
Yeah, a
little
little
bit
bit higher. It
higher.
had a 5.8 and Deep Star was
Did
5.3.
think I feel like it was a more popular movie when it came out. They had more
Maybe
stars in it,
maybe it
like you
had
said, the
better what
budget,
do you call it?
better
Marketing.
marketing. Yeah. Yeah, I thought Deep Star Six was a lot
Yeah, I thought
better.
the acting was better, the writing was better. Miguel Ferrer was really good in his kind of weasel
He was, yeah.
part where
Some of
he
the stuff wasn't his fault, but some of it
some of it
was.
was.
Yeah,
Um, the captain he's my favorite character, even though it doesn't last very long. He's my favorite character. He's kind of funny.
yeah,
And we still got a clean dock.
Clean and tight. Precious holding.
My father told me, stay at home and help me out with the farm, son. No, not me. I had to join the Navy and see the fucking world. You ready?
Um, then you had Logan. What's the guy's name? McBride.
yeah. That
He
sounds
looks
right.
like Wolverine
Yeah,
in the
I
movie.
call him Wolverine,
I called him not Michael Bean
not Michael Bean.
because he also resembles Michael Bean. But yeah, I don't know. Deep Star Six is just much more fun. The
Yeah,
creature looks better because you actually get to see him. Um, he looks kind of like what I say
like a praying
not really a
mantis.
praying. I said a praying mantis, but what I meant was a Venus flytrap. Like he looks like kind of like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, and you get this, like you get to see it a little bit better, and just the fact that it was something. I want to say different. It's an underwater creature movie, but it wasn't a
Yeah,
complete remake of another
it
movie, just in a
wasn't
different
a
setting.
rip off of something else.
Yeah, it was a little bit more refreshing. I enjoyed it. To say that I'll own it or watch it again, probably not.
Oh, it's coming out in 4K, so I'm getting it.
Oh, yeah,
I'm absolutely
yeah,
getting it.
but I definitely enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Leviathan.
And of course, it sticks with me because, like I said, I've
Yeah, you
grown up with
grew
it.
up
I
on it.
watched it several times as a kid.
Yeah,
Um, and as an adult, I've watched it a few times, and I like my little DVD copy. But it's time for an upgrade. We watched it an HD stream, and bit rate and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to see the dark scenes and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it's going to look like in 4K
yeah,
on a good copy.
yeah.
So yeah, so I think Deep Star Six is gonna get and to me this movie's a good six and a half.
Yeah, I'd say six.
Because when you start
You
saying
get it?
seven, you're starting to get into like, oh, that's really good. And I don't know if it's quite there. But it's a good six and a half where I can easily watch this once a year and enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd say between 5 and 6,
Yeah.
average to slightly above average.
And also the same year The Abyss came out, but in I didn't want to do a three. To me, a
Mm,
movie duel is better.
yeah,
Um, and these two are kind of on the same level. The Abyss, huge production value, um, much bigger budget, much better quote unquote movie as far as directing, acting, budget, and all that good stuff. Um, but that movie, the story doesn't quite resonate with me. Like the first, probably, I don't know, 60% of the movie I really, really enjoy. It's when you start to kind of figure out exactly what's going on where it loses me, and I don't want to give it away because Nick has never
yeah.
seen
I've
it.
never seen The Abyss.
So we will watch that one, but I don't know if we'll do anything with it. But um, I just didn't feel that it qualified to be in this, but it came out the same year, so everybody went to see that instead of these two. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun little experience. Again, a couple movies I had never seen before,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's fun.
Okay, so which ones do you want to do next?
I don't know. We'd have to sit and look and compare, look through the old
Any
collections,
suggestions,
and
please drop in the comments because remember,
yeah,
I've talked about hard target versus surviving the game.
yeah,
But there's tons of um options. So
yeah,
we'll have to look at it and see
yeah.
and
We'll come up with a
do a
couple
couple of
of
these.
couple
It's
of
fun.
lists. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, I think that'll about wrap it up. So we're gonna go ahead and give the winner, like we said, to Deep Star Six.
Yep.
Let us know which one you prefer. And with that, we'll get out of here. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.